Indy Mogul.
Hey guys, Zack Finfrock here for Backyard FX. Today, not a normal build episode, I'm gonna do a small Zack Talks Back. It's been a while since we've done a Zack Talks Back, and so I went over all the comments the last couple of videos and picked out a few that I'd like to talk about and answer. So let's get started. Doctor Who Sonic Screwdriver. Please make a Thor hammer, smiley face. Make an AK-47. We get questions like that a lot. It's very specific. It either has to do with a new movie coming out or a new video game that came out, or it's very vague, like an AK-47, things like that, where, you know, it's not from a specific movie. When it comes to these type of builds, we can only do so much with those, because since they're so specific, we can't do a variation of them. They can't be anything else. For example, I just did the portal gun, and as cool as that was, and you know, as much as you guys did request that, it can't be anything else but the portal gun. You see what I mean? You can only do so much with that build. So we're gonna try to stay away from the extremely specific builds and kind of lean more towards general filmmaking things and props. Now, as for the AK-47 build and guns like that, where it's a very specific model gun from a game or a movie, those you can almost always find at airsoft gun websites or anywhere that sells airsoft guns in a store. But they're very easy to find, and for anywhere between $10 to $30, you can get really realistic looking guns, you know, that you don't have to worry about building or anything like that. What's that?
Every single time you mention airsoft, people overseas say they can't get them.
Oh. Really?
Mm-hmm.
Why can't they get them overseas?
Because they can't. The gun laws are more restrictive than they are here. They can't buy them.
You can't buy guns overseas? That sucks. Then maybe we will do a general gun tutorial. Really?
Yes.
Please do a Call of Duty ray gun, please, 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 please. Can you make a Gears of War chainsaw bayonet? They should make a Master Sword. Okay, well, like I said last time, we're gonna try to stay away from video game inspired stuff and go more towards filmmaking stuff. But for very specific video game things, go to these forums right here. The Replica Prop forums. Because chances are, if you want it and it's from a video game, someone on this forum has already done it, and they usually take a lot of pictures and describe how they do it. Plus, you can become part of the forum and just ask questions, and you'll get plenty of help. That forum has helped me so much on some of my previous builds, and the community is nothing but open when it comes to trying to figure things out, learning new techniques, stuff like that. So, again, very specific builds, this link here. $50, really? Come on, I thought this was BFX, not spend all your money on one prop FX. Well, Ryan in Florida, I get what you mean. Independent filmmaking, I mean, it is backyard effects. The heart and soul of this show is to spend as little as possible and make great stuff. But the less money you spend, the less quality of the final product. So, I want my stuff to look nice, I'm gonna spend a little more money on it. I understand if you don't have a lot of money, and I understand, you know, if you're not looking to spend $50 on a single thing, but keep in mind, the more money you spend, the better it's gonna look. It's as simple as that. You got a really, really high voice. You know that?
Do I have a high voice? I've never noticed. I don't know what you're talking about.
Where can I find that foam? Because I can't find that foam anywhere in my arts and craft stores. Well, I assume you're talking about the foam mats that I've been using in the last couple of episodes. Those I find at Lowe's. Basically, they're in the garage section because they're mats that go on a garage floor. But you can also find them at Kmart, at most automotive stores, and, well, hardware stores like Lowe's and Home Depot. Whatever happened to the Captain America shield? Well, that build is still coming. It's just slated for closer to the Captain America movie, which is next month. So, you can look forward to it next month. Zack, I challenge you to make a realistic Inception-style zero-gravity effect without using a green screen. I would say challenge accepted, but I don't have $1 billion, so I can't do it. I mean, I know they didn't do it with green screen, which is awesome, but that's also, you know, $100,000 million budget film. I mean, millions of dollars were spent on that movie, so they had plenty of money to do it. I don't. I always thought the wheel was unnecessary. It always seemed staged. Oh my god. They're on to us. Am I the only one that says Indy Mogul line at the beginning of every time you watch these videos? Haha. No, we do it too. I mean, I do.
I do too. Me too.
We do it. I would like to see a toolbox episode just running over what you use the power and some ballpark prices. Might be a little boring, but I think it would help. That's a good point. We do get that question a lot too, about what we use in the show. I mean, yeah, you can also go look at all the episodes, and you know, we do have a shopping list that does include our tools, but I do want to share what I use for most of my stuff. So, here we go. The hot glue gun. Now, I bought this for about $7 at Michael's. The hot glue is anywhere between $2 to $5, depending on the amount you buy in a bag. I started with a really cheap hot glue gun that I got at a dollar store, but then it kept breaking. So then, you know, spent more money, got a better model, and I've been using this one for about 6 months now. So, yeah. Drill. Now, this costs about $25 for the drill. It's a normal corded drill. I bought it at Lowe's, and the drill bits you can buy pretty much anywhere, but those are usually pretty cheap too. So that's another thing I use. The razor pens. Now, I bought these at a hobby store for $5. I use them for almost everything, and they came with the replacements, so when, you know, they start getting dull. I don't know if you'll be able to find these exact things at a hobby store, but a razor pen always comes in handy when you're cutting things, so yes. More recently, with the foam, I had to go out and buy a heat gun. Now, this cost me $20 at Lowe's, and I mainly only use it for the foam technique for when I'm bending and molding foam, but I'm sure it can be used for other things too. I just really haven't tried yet. Alright, and the last tool, the one that I use the most, and the one that has kind of become my staple tool, is my Dremel. Now, luckily, this was given to me by my father before I even started Backyard Effects. But they're not that expensive. I'm gonna have to buy a new one soon, and it's gonna run me between $25 to $40 depending on which one I get. And the Dremel, I use it for almost everything. Now, these definitely wear down after a while when you're using them a lot, so you can buy little replacement kits for the different tools you use, cutting, sanding, things like that. The cutting ones cost me about $17, and the sanding cost me about $12. But again, they all range depending on where you buy it and what types you buy. If I don't have a Dremel, what tool can I use? If you don't have a Dremel, in my opinion, I suggest you save money and go buy a Dremel. They come in handy for almost everything. And it was a lot harder for me to do prop stuff before I had the Dremel than afterwards. I mean, it was a night and day type thing. So, save your money. Spend $25, $30, buy a Dremel. You will not regret it. That's it for this episode of BFX. Leave a comment below. If you have any more questions, go ahead and throw them down there, and hopefully I'll get to them next time we do something like this. And go to this video for the newest episode of Backyard Effects, and then this video for something different. Those two videos. So, I'll see you guys next week with a normal episode of Backyard Effects.